Good morning, guys. I'm really hoping that I'm live. I'm just going to give it a few minutes and get my husband to give me a shout out as to whether he can see me. But typical 2021 style, I've had a nightmare trying to get on live this morning. So I've tried my phone, my laptop wouldn't work, my husband's laptop wouldn't work, internet connection went down. So I'm hoping that this is now live streaming on YouTube. I'm going to give it another few seconds and then I'm just going to get started with a class. And I might be teaching completely to the south, or there might be a few of you out there. But just give my husband a shout. Babe, can you see and hear me? Brilliant. Okay, so I think we are live. So hi guys, thank you for joining me. I hope you've had a lovely Christmas. And if you're anything like me, you're probably feeling quite tense and tight and lethargic. So we're going to make it a really easy session today. I'm just going to do a little bit of everything, really, kind of focusing on all those bits that tend to tighten up. I know I've got at least one lady with a sore neck this morning, and I've woke up with a bit of a sore neck myself. So we'll do a bit of work on that. But yeah, I'm going to get cracking. So obviously, if you're not joining me live on this, you can play this at any point. You know, I'm going to leave it up there so you can do it at any point. I think you can leave messages. I'm not sure. I think you can leave messages. If you do, I'll have a look at the end. I just don't want to fiddle with a laptop in case it all shuts down again, because I've literally just gone to the last minute of getting this to actually work this morning. And I'm hoping that it stays with me. Right, so I'm actually going to get you to start standing up. We're going to go through a proprio stim, just because I think we probably all need a bit of a reset. I certainly need a reset button this morning. But just start standing in your mountain pose then. So feel that you're nice and tall, you're nice and upright. Have your feet roughly hip width apart. Spread your toes gently. Relax your arms. Close your eyes for a moment. And just imagine that as you're breathing in, you're being pulled up through the top of the head. You've got a piece of string coming out the top of your head and you're being lifted up towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, your arms are getting heavier and they're just hanging as if your fingers are reaching the floor. Start to feel that even weight between your left and right leg and try and find that center line. And then do the same kind of forwards and back. So from heel to toe, we want to try and feel that center line. Okay, just notice what your breathing feels like. Take a few easy breaths. Notice where the movement is. We'll start to do a little bit of deeper breathing in a moment. Maybe swallow, relax the throat, relax the face. Give your fingers a bit of a wiggle. And just notice the position of your pelvis, so your bucket. Yeah, we want to feel that we've got it just in our neutral, tail slightly tucked. Feeling that it's even, so just notice that space between the hips and the ribs, left and right side. Are you leaning or are you nice and centered? Okay, and then just take the hands onto the belly. So you're going to have one hand roughly over your belly button and the other hand below around your pelvic belly. Keep your eyes closed, but just start to take some bigger breaths now. So as we breathe in, you want to feel this expansion, feel the belly rise, feel the ribs expand as well, but we're trying to get away from this chest, breathing this upper body breathing. And you can breathe however you want. You can do your ujjayi breath. You can breathe through the nose, out through the mouth, whatever feels comfortable. We're just trying to make this breath bigger. And again, visualize the exhale as you're breathing out. Feel your shoulders shrug downwards. Imagine your shoulder blades are sliding down into the middle of your back. But keep feeling the crown of the head is being lifted up. I'm just going to take a few more breaths. Okay, and then relax your arms alongside you again. Open your eyes gently. And we're going to start to work through our proprio stim. So if you're not familiar with this, obviously it's something I do in my class. Go back through my other videos. There's a whole explanation video on it. But I just think it would be a good thing to start off with today. So all we're doing, we're not going to even do any tests. We're just going to whiz through it. Start just by massaging, rubbing your palms together. Just waking up all those little nerve receptors. Backs of the hands. We'll do this as quickly as we can today because I do want to get through a fair amount of stuff, and I'm very aware that we could get cut off at any point if YouTube isn't playing. Right, so coming up your forearms, do a little bit of patting around the wrist joints. Anywhere that you've got an old injury, spend a little bit longer on that area. coming around the elbow joints, upper arms, biceps, triceps, across the shoulders, all around your collarbones, across the front of your breastplate, be a little bit firmer around here. Okay, and then gently stroking at the throat, around the neck. Okay, get your fingers into the back of the neck, or especially around the nape of the neck, give that a good massage. And then coming around the ears, gently pinch from the earlobes all the way up to the top. Start to come around the jaw, around the hinge of the jaw. You can just do a little bit of tapping there. Okay, stroking around the chin, gently around the face, all around the eye socket, forehead, temples. Get your fingers into your scalp, give the scalp a good massage. Okay, and then coming back around the tops of the shoulders. So we're going to try and get around the back body now. So however you can do it, whether you want to come underneath, over the top, you're just trying to get around your upper back, your shoulder blades, your mid-back area. Give that a little bit of input. Okay, around the front body, ribs, sternum, solar plexus area, all around the tummy, lower back, pelvic belly, hips. Start to give the hips a bit of a tap and give your sacrum area, so not too firm, we don't want to hurt the cells, but you want to kind of wake up this area and then really go for it on your glutes. You know, if you've been like me, you've probably been sitting down watching a bit more TV. I've been watching Peaky Blinders, absolutely loving it. Can't believe I never watched it before. But yeah, sitting down switches these off a little bit, so we're just going to fire them up. And then start to come around your thighs, so fronts and backs, inner and outer thighs, all around the knees, so massaging, gently tapping. Lower legs, calves. And then dropping down, coming around your ankle joints and your feet. So again, you can give them a little bit of a pat, but really working around your toes, arches, balls of the feet, heels, tops of the feet, in between the toes, and even around your toenails. Yeah, really important. We've got so many little receptors in our feet that just tend to get a bit switched off and neglected. Okay, doing both sides. Okay, and then coming back up to standing. Shake everything loose. Just stand back into your mountain pose. Close your eyes again. And just take 3 or 4 huge breaths now. So I want you to really feel the movement is coming to the belly and the rib cage. You know, we're giving the ribs a bit of a stretch out. Completely filling the lungs. Completely emptying the lungs. Just do that a couple more times. Okay, and then just standing comfortably. Right, I'm going to do a little bit of mobility standing. We're going to whiz through some shoulder and arm and neck stuff, and then we'll come down on the ground and do the rest of it. So we're going to start just from your upper body. So just do some real loose shoulder circles, just rolling up and around. So obviously if you have got any pain, any discomfort, you're just working within your comfort zone, really. We're just trying to gently move things around today. We're not trying to get any massive gains. So listen to your body. If it feels painful, then stop. Okay, start to bring these circles forwards. So we're just coming up and over. Okay, we're going to go back, but we're going to alternate now. So one shoulder at a time. Okay, come forwards, one shoulder at a time. Get a little bit of movement into your shoulder blades. So we're trying to feel that they're lifting and moving with us. Okay, and then just let your arms hang down. Okay, feel that you're slightly drawing them back, so we don't want them to kind of pull us into flexion, but we're just going to gently twist. So we're rolling forwards and backwards. turning from your wrist and forearm, but also turning from the top, from your shoulder. And if that feels okay, you can start to make this a little bigger, so we're squeezing the mid-back muscles together. But just check that as we're moving through this rotation that your shoulders aren't trying to get back up to your neck. Yeah, keep them low if possible. Try and feel that you're keeping that lifted up through the top of the head feeling. Okay, and then we're just going to let our arms hang again, just let them go floppy alongside you. So find your neutral neck, cheekbones above collarbones, gently start to work through your flexion and extension. And if you need to move a little bit slower than I'm going, that's absolutely fine. You know, if you get to a point where you think, oh, actually, I just need to hold that there for a moment and let that stretch out, then do listen to your body. Okay, so we're just going to do a couple more. And then let the head stay down this time, but keep these mid-back muscles switched on. So we're gently squeezing the shoulders back and down. We're trying to kind of hold ourselves upright, but we're going to let the chin just sweep across collarbone to collarbone as far as it can comfortably go. Crunching, clicking, as long as it's not painful, it's quite normal. So you're just going from side to side, a couple more times. And then come back to your neutral, chin slightly lifted, shoulders are down and back. And we're just going to rotate. Yeah, so my neck, I don't know, I think it was Sue that's messaged me this morning with a sore neck. I woke up with a bit of a stiff neck here. So my range I can feel isn't what it normally is. And normally these things, you know, if it's just something that you've woke up with, normally if you move through gently, you can often loosen it up. But obviously just take it to that point where you can feel a bit of a stretch. Don't try and get your full range if it's sore. Okay, back to neutral. We're going to do lateral flexion. So you just gently tip in again, but we're going to hold it as a stretch this time. So we're going to let the head stay tipping over towards your right side. Just let it stay there for a breath. Keep your arms hanging heavy. And then let your left arm rotate. So you're turning your thumb behind you, your palm is facing outwards. Okay, and just imagine you're pushing those fingers down. Now, if you wanted to go a little deeper, if you didn't have any discomfort, you could use your other arm as a bit of extra weight. You're not pulling, you're just literally letting that rest there. And then just shrug the shoulders away from the ears. Take a few big breaths. Make sure that you're not leaning through the trunk of the body, so we still want that nice upright position through our spine. But hopefully you're feeling a nice stretch now all the way down that side line. Okay, just hold that for another breath. Okay, come back to neutral. So we're going to change sides. Let your head tilt gently across. So arm is dropping down, thumb tips back, palm faces away. If that's giving you a good enough stretch, you're just going to hold that. If you wanted to, you could just add a little bit of extra weight. Okay, and then come back to centre and roll both shoulders back. Okay, find your neutral again. Let your head drop, this time nose goes to armpit. Just hold that as you stretch. Okay, changing sides, nose to armpit. Okay, and then back to centre. Right, we're going to come through just another little shoulder mobility, and then we're going to do a quick shoulder decompression. So we often do this one on the ground. We're going to start with our arms folded across the ribs. And all we do, we just bring them up, we open them out and we bring them back across. So again, if you've got a lot of tension there, your range might just be something like this. Real easy, really loose circles. If it feels okay, you might be able to come all the way back, all the way down and across. Again, activating all this space. So feel those muscles pulling the shoulders back and down. Make these movements as big as you want. So come back, squeeze down and cross. Right, and we're going to change the direction. So we start from the ribs, we rotate out first, then we come up and then we come forwards. We rotate out, up and over. And if you can, try and keep your upper arm quite close to the body. So when we come out here, rather than doing that, we're trying to get that rotation. It just makes the shoulders work a little harder. So we open there, then we come back. Okay, and then let your arms relax down, give them a bit of a shake. Right, so we're going to do our decompression. So if you want to lean on a wall or a chair for this one, for your back, that's absolutely fine. Give your back a bit of support. Try and keep yourself in extension, so chest away from belly button. We're going to tip out the front of your bucket. Support with one hand, let your other arm hang. Try and keep your upper back flat, as if you've got a glass of water in the middle of your back. And just relax the neck. And we're just going to let that arm go. So just nice, easy pendulum, just letting it swing around. I feel it's really heavy. And just play with that space in front of you. If your shoulders are feeling fine, you could really go for it with this one. It actually feels quite nice sometimes to just get that huge range there. But obviously, if you've got any tension or shoulder issues, you would keep it gentle. So the beauty of these movements, you kind of can take it to the level that you need, and it can be different from day to day. You might wake up one morning feeling great and just think, I really want to push it and find a bigger range or a bigger kind of margin. And then other days you wake up feeling a bit sore and tight. So just work at the level that suits you for that day. Okay, change in the direction. Okay, we're going to start to come across the body. So you're swinging and the back of your hand is facing away. So as I come across, my elbow flexes naturally. What I don't want to do is have my elbow, twisted. So I want to feel that natural hinge joint is working the right direction. And again, you can make this easy, or you can make it really vigorous, throwing the arm out and across. Okay, and then we're going to come forward, so it comes to the outside, palm faces in, so thumb is leading, as if you're throwing the arm forwards and back. Trying to keep the body fairly still, so all the movement is coming from the shoulder. Okay, and then just squeeze the glutes, roll yourself back up to standing. Now the arm that you've just done, we're going to stretch that. So we're going to bring it across the back of the body, grab it with the other hand and just gently pull it down and then let it roll back. So we're trying to get into your pectoral muscles. I think I've got a bit of a light hitting my mirror, haven't I? That's probably blinding some of you. Let me just try turning that off. No, I think it's the outside light. Hopefully you can still see. I'll just try and stay away from the mirror. So just coming down, but we're trying to open into your pectoral muscles. So again, tail tucked, chest is lifted. You can add the neck into this if you want to. You can tip the head, tip it away from the shoulder, but just hold that for a good breath. So the shoulder feels like it's down and back here, but opening into the chest. We don't want it to elevate up. Okay, change your sign. So opposite arm, we're going to tip. Let the arm hang, just easy circles. I'm moving that around. I'm just going to have a play with my blinds, see if I can get rid of that. That working a little bit? A bit better, I think. Change direction. Okay, so once you've done your circles, we're going to go both ways, as big as you comfortably can. And then start to come across the body. Keep the back flat, try and keep the body still, really letting the arm go. Big swinging action from left to right. And then finally forwards and back. Okay, roll up to standing. So we're going to stretch, bring it across, grab the hand, gently draw down, and then open. Push that shoulder to the back. Keep the body neutral, spine is centered, so we're not leaning away from this. But you can let the head tip away if you want to take that a little deeper into the neck. But just hold that 2 or 3 breaths. Okay, shake both arms loose. Right, give yourself a little hug now. So one arm crosses over the other. You're going to let your upper back go into flexion and your head just drops down. And then just imagine your shoulders being pulled down from the neck. Change the cross, other arm on top, let the shoulders relax. Okay, and then come back up. Roll the shoulders. Both arms are going to come into the small of the back, so very loosely, we're just grabbing either your wrists, elbows, tuck your tail, lift the chest, lean into this slightly now. So we want that slight opening of the whole of the upper body, particularly across your pecs. We want to feel that we're open across the front ribs as well. But just try not to overarch the lumbar. You want to keep that slight tucked tail position. It just means that you can go a bit deeper into the upper back and keep the back of the neck open as well. Imagine you've got a big orange there, so we're not letting the head squash. We want to keep a bit of a space. Okay, and then lift the head, straighten up, shake your arms. Right, come to the ground then. We're just going to come through a little bit of lower body mobility. So come down slowly. Grab a quick drink of water if you need one, guys. Hug your knees in. I've no idea how long I'm going to keep this going for today, to be honest. So I'm just going to keep going until I've done as much as I think we all perhaps need. So do feel free to go and do your errands and come back to this video later on. You can always watch it at a later date. But if you are going to stay with me, you could be here for a while, guys. Just give your lower back a bit of a massage. So make sure you have got a drink. Make sure you've got a drink of water. Right, give your right knee a hug. Let your left leg drop out, shake it loose. Just hold it for a moment. Even that, to be honest, just feels really nice. Just do something as simple as this when you're feeling really tense. So take a few easy breaths. Focus on your toes, give them a wiggle. Move your foot, start to work your ankle joint. Okay, pointing and flexing. And then let the foot go floppy. Hold the back of the thigh. Just give the hamstring a bit of a massage first. And we're just going to hold on to that. And then work through the knee. Just gently bending and extending. And you can do it to start with just really loose, really floppy. So your range might just be more like this. If you're feeling good, you might have been out for a walk or a run this morning. Go through that full range. Start to change your ankle position. Do some with your toes pointed up. Some with your heel pushed up. That'll feel that a bit more in your calf muscles. Okay, and then relax the lower leg. Give it another hug, but a bit deeper. So you're bringing it to the outside now. So you're bringing it into your armpit or your shoulder. Keep your left leg stretching down. Okay, changing side. So bring the left leg in, let the right leg drop. Give that a bit of a bounce. And just hold on to the massage the back of the thigh. And then just ease it in for a breath or two. Wiggle your toes. Start to move your foot. Okay, point and flex, forwards and back. Circle the foot both ways. Okay, and then just work through the knee. Changing the foot position, some with the toes pointed, some with the heels pushed up. Okay, and then relax, but hug the knee a little deeper up into your chest or your shoulder. Okay, stretch that leg down. Take a breath, go into a big stretch here. Just push out through the arms, reaching at the top of your mat through the fingertips, reaching at the bottom of your mat through the heels. And we're going to do a little lateral tilt on our pelvis. So once you've had a good stretch, just let your arms rest wherever they want to be. You can keep them out to the side or you can bring them back onto the body. But think about your hips. We're just going to start to pull and push the legs. So you're making one leg longer and the other leg shorter. So we're just doing that little lateral tilt. Just do a few of those. Feeling that stretch between your ribs and your hips. And imagine you're pushing the hip down and away from the pelvis, trying to lengthen the leg out. Okay, and then find neutral so they both feel they're even again. Bring the feet halfway up, plant them nice and comfortably, spread from heel to toe. Start rocking your bucket forwards and backwards. Okay, start rolling your bucket around. Okay, both directions. And then start coming up and down the spine. So slow, steady movement. We're rolling up vertebrae at a time. We're lowering down vertebrae at a time. And just do a few gentle, see how it feels. If that's enough, we're just going to keep it going like that. Just relax. You can even close your eyes. You can even, if you wanted to, work this with your breath. Yeah, so I think take a deep breath in. Exhale, roll up. Another big breath in. Exhale, roll down. So you can really slow this movement down. It's quite nice to do it that way. If it's easy, you're going to start bringing the feet further in. Coming right up onto tiptoes, get that bigger lift. But we'll do a few more of these. Okay, checking in with upper body. So we want to keep the chest away from the chin. We're not squashing the throat or the chin away from the chest. Okay, we'll do a couple more and then we're going to hold it as the stretch. And remember, if you did want a deeper stretch on this, where you would just elevate your feet, you'd have your feet upon a couple of yoga bricks or on a step box or something, that gives you a slightly bigger stretch. For some people, it actually makes it feel more comfortable as well. It's one of these things, it's try it and see if it suits you or not. So we're going to hold the next one at the top. Really feeling that you're tipping out the back bucket, lifting the hips up, pushing down through the feet, pushing down through the shoulders. Arms are either braced, you can support, you can grab your shins, you can even stretch the arms back behind you if you wanted to, but just find a way where you can hold this and breathe into it. So try and stretch now, quads, hip flexors, nice back bend. Glutes are active, they're supporting you. Knees are staying roughly hip width apart, as long as they're not collapsing in or collapsing out. Okay, so just hold it for one more breath. When you're going to come out, you're going to untuck your shoulders, place yourself back down the spine, vertebra at a time. Again, use that to really get that control of movement. And then as soon as you feel the whole of your back touch the ground, we're just going to hug the knees back in and just gently circle. Right, drop your feet back down, have them together now. Arms are going to flop out to the side, very, very loosely. We're just rolling both legs over to the left, back up to centre, over to the right. As far as they'll go, upper body stays fairly level. Should feel really nice, this one. It's a nice little stretch and mobility, and also really good for your internal organs, your digestive system, gets that circulation flowing. Okay, come back to centre, plant the feet together, let the knees drop out to Cobbler's pose. Hands are going to come onto the pelvic belly, and just take 2 or 3 good breaths. So we're just using the exhale to feel the legs kind of fall outwards, to feel them become heavier. Okay, start to include your pelvic floor. So when you exhale, you're lifting upwards. On your inhale, you're relaxing again. I'm just going to do a few of these, so just work with the pace of your breath. Big breath in, everything rises. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Try not to clench your thighs or your glutes. So remember, it's the deep layers. It's those kind of invisible muscles, the ones that we can't see, but they're so important. Horizontal, load bearing, always working, especially when we're standing up or sitting. And we just need to train them regularly, every day if possible. But just by squeezing and relaxing them, it's still a contraction, it's still an exercise. If you're used to doing this, you can do whichever variation you want. You can do individual attachments, you can do your quick pulses, slow, strong hold. Just try and do some every day if possible. Okay, now bring the knees together, step the feet wide, brace inwards now. Lower back is going to squash to the ground. We've got a little bit of internal pressures if we're squeezing our inner thighs towards each other. And all we're going to do with the upper body is just our shrug. So we're going to reach the arms up, wiggle your fingers, loosen out your wrists. Keep your shoulders away from your ears, but just start to reach one at a time, lifting and lowering. Okay, now just hold it for a moment. Just keep reaching up. So you've got one shoulder flat to the ground and the other one we're trying to lift it up. And then we're going to change. So we pull that shoulder down, just lift up. Okay, now do both together. Clasp them. Just massage your mid-back for a moment. Wake up that space between your shoulders. Both directions. Okay, and then from centre, we're going to gently rock this. Coming across, right to left. Arms stay straight. Legs stay still. Let the head go with the movement, but really start to feel that you're twisting. Everything from your waist upwards is allowed to move here. We're kind of rolling and rocking. Okay, just doing a few more of those. Okay, and then relax your arms. Right, plant the feet hip width. Hug your right knee in for a moment. Step it across your left leg, let it fall away. We can do outer hips and thighs, bit of piriformis as well, but we'll just do the gentle version. So we've got our left foot planted, right leg is crossed over, and we're using our hands to get that external rotation. So we're trying to turn the hip outwards and away from us, keeping your pelvis level. Hold it and breathe. If that's enough of a stretch, may well be. Just relax, close your eyes, take some big breaths. If you're not feeling enough of a stretch, you're going to lift up, grab, start to draw that left leg off the floor. You can push up through the heel. Okay, changing sides. So we start just by bringing the leg in, give it a little hug. Step it across, let it rotate outwards and away from you. Okay, see how that feels. If that's enough, outer hip, thigh, glute. On your left side, just hold it, relax into it. If it's not enough, you're going to grab your other leg and maybe extend up. Okay, a couple more breaths. Obviously, if there's anything that we're doing that you think, oh, I need to do that a bit more, just watch it back, pause the video, and then hold these stretches longer if you need to. Okay, and then drop both legs. Right, giving your knees a hug. We're going to come up to seated, so take your time. Either roll over onto your side or squeeze your glutes and just rock yourself up gently. Again, grab another quick drink if you need one. I'm hoping that you're still live with me. It looks like there's a few people watching, so hopefully we are still live. So thank you for sticking with me so far. Right, we're going to come through just some gentle twists while we're seated. So take a moment, just sit yourself really tall, really upright. Close your eyes and imagine as you're breathing in. Same as we did at the beginning, the crown and head's being pulled up. As we breathe out, we're letting our shoulders drop away from our ears. So we want to get this really good extended position. If you don't suit cross-legged, remember you can sit on cushions, that can really help. Otherwise, just go wide-legged. Okay, open your eyes, start to rotate. So we're going to go towards our right side first. So left hand is going to grab that right hip or knee or thigh. Right hand goes around the back. Inhale, lift yourself up tall. Exhale, wring out the spine. Keeping both hips level, gently drawing the tummy in to give the lower back a bit of support. It's dead easy. You're using the hand behind you to get more lift, the hand on the knee to get more twist, more stretch. Just hold that for a good breath. Okay, gently unwind, changing sides. So we come through centre, we lift up tall. Right hand's going to grab left knee, left thigh. Left hand is there to keep you really tall. And then just try and relax into it. So the body fights to stretch anyway. It will do that on its own for the first few seconds. It's protecting you. After a few seconds, you're then trying to just work with your breath as you breathe out, let the muscles go, relax. Sometimes even just visualizing what's happening. Now, imagine you can see those muscles just start to move into that twist or feel them start to lengthen. But never push to that point where it feels painful. If it feels sharp, painful, or if it kind of takes your breath away, then you've gone too far too quickly. Or you might just have a bit of compression, you might just pinch something. Remember, our muscles are layers, so there's always potential for them to get a bit stuck, to just kind of pinch against each other, especially if you're dehydrated. So that's another thing to look out for. Right, unwind. Come back to centre. I'm going to keep my back to you because I'm just going to show you the little stretch that we're going to do behind now. So shrug your shoulders back. Hands are going to come behind. Push through the heel of the hand. Gentle back bend. So we're lifting our sternum up towards the ceiling. Trying to hug our shoulder blades underneath us. If you need to rotate your wrists and your forearms out to get comfortable, that's fine. Keep the back of the neck open. Once you've got that stretch through the front body, just check that you're not overarching lumbar. So we're still slightly tucking your tail underneath. And use the movement. Use the movement of your breath. So we breathe big into the ribs. You'll feel that extra stretch. All those little muscles between each rib, they get tight as well. Okay, lift your head up first. Walk your weight to the front of your sit bones. Have a fidget. I love having a fidget. Really helps just to get more comfortable in poses. Big breath in. Drop your body forwards and down. Okay, so again, your range might be more like this. It's absolutely fine. We might be able to get your elbows down. However far you can go is good. That's all we're asking, is to just find your current range and just be pushing into it a little bit. So we're just gradually encouraging that range to get bigger. Okay, walk it back up to centre. Stretch the legs out in front. Bounce them loose. Tip your weight forwards on the sit bones. Lift yourself up tall. Okay, find your neutral neck again. Just relax here. So just hold your staff pose for a moment. Even this position, you know, for some people this is really challenging to do. Using these core muscles to keep us upright. You know, our body's desperately wanting us to either do this or lean back. So just sitting in staff pose, we've got our toes gently flexed towards us. We're pushing out through the heels. We're lifting the head up to the ceiling, gently engaging the front body. It's a nice little kind of postural strengthener on its own. Being able to do this for a minute comfortably, you know, if you can just sit with this and feel genuinely comfortable here for a minute or so without things pulling on you or screaming at you, then that's a sign that those postural muscles are doing their job. But as I say, it can be really challenging to do. So we're just going to hold this a little bit longer. I want to do some lateral movement as well. 2 more good breaths. Okay, and then come back either to your cross leg position, if that's comfortable, or if cross leg doesn't suit you, go wide leg. We just need a slightly bigger base now because we're going to do a bit of movement from left to right. So imagine you've just rooted your sit bones into your mat, yeah, so they can't lift up. They've got to stay pretty centered. And all we're going to do, we're just going to bring the arms up, clasp the hands, let them drop to the back of the neck. So you can be cross-legged here as well if you prefer. And we're just going to very gently tip. So we're just letting the elbow drop towards the floor. I'm trying to keep my chest away from my belly, so I'm not crumpling forwards too much. And I'm just letting my elbows drop to the floor. Oh, that feels really tight. A movement that we just tend to neglect a little bit, but it is an important movement because it's one of these areas that you might not get pain there, but tension there can create pain elsewhere. Yeah, it can kind of pull on your shoulders, it can pull on your lower back. Right, so come back to center. You're going to take one arm alongside. I'll turn around again and show you from a reverse angle. So we're going to go right side first. So my right hand's going to drop, my elbow's bending away, my left arm is lifting up and over, and I'm pushing down into my left sit bone. Chest is lifted. Shoulder blade on this left side is sliding down, and I'm just finding comfort with my neck. So you can either gaze up, drop chin to the chest, or you can just hold it in that center point. But we want to feel it all the way down this left side. Okay, just hold that for another good breath. We're going to come out slow, sweep back up to center. So changing sides. Left arm is now going to be your support. Right arm is coming up and over. So I'm pushing my hip down, reaching up and across. Chest is away from belly. Neutral neck. Comfortable leg position. Hold it and breathe. Okay, come back up to center. Right, while we're in a wide leg position, so if you're cross leg, go wide leg for now. I'm just going to do a little bit of work on the inner thighs. So weight to the front of the sit bones. Bounce your knees, let them soften. Legs are tipping slightly outwards if anything. Chest is lifted. Good breath in. Let the body come forwards. So your range today might be that. You know, that might be it. That's absolutely fine. If you can, every time you exhale, you're just going to see if you can let the body slowly start to come a little bit further forwards and down. If you're feeling great and you've got good range, you can grab your feet. If you've got nice short legs or long arms or both, Add a bit of strength off your arms to just pull yourself further into it. Or yoga straps, and the straps can be used as an extension of the limbs. If you've got short legs, long arms, etc. Other way around rather, and you can't quite reach, you can use your straps. Okay, come back up. Shake the legs loose. Right, give your wrists a bit of a wiggle, just circle, loosen out the wrist joints. I'm just going to come up to the screen. I can see a few of you left me messages. I'm curious as to who's joined me. Sue, Andrea, Jan, Margaret, brilliant. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. It's lovely. Move away now. Right, coming into your box position then. So just come over onto hands and knees. Plant the hands, spread the fingers out. Just find your neutral box. Hold it for a moment there, so we're gently bracing from underneath. We're going to start just with some simple circles with your pelvis. So always just think that you're rolling your tailbone around in a circular motion. Upper body's going to stay fairly stacked above the hands. Take it both ways. And then come back to your neutral cat and dog, round and release, pulling up from underneath, extend and lengthen. If that's easy, if you're feeling quite supple now, if you loosened up a bit, tuck your toes, lift your knees. Start to add a bit of weight bearing into it. Okay, round up, sit back into your child pose, push the hips back and down, arms are stretching forwards, drop the head, roll the shoulders away from the ears, just feel that broadening across the back. Okay, and then come back up to your box position. Right, we're going to come through a bit of lunge work for hip flexors and we'll do a bit more rotation work. So step your left foot through. This is where you can use cushions, you can roll up your mat to pad out that other knee if you've got any knee issues. But just bring that left foot a little wider. Hands are going to come to the inside. Have a fidget, do some kind of rocking work, just forwards and back. Wiggle your hips from side to side. Okay, and then we stack the front knee above the ankle, squeeze the glutes, tuck the tail, bring the hands a little further out to the right. Right hand is going to be your support. We shift the weight slightly forward so your shoulder sits directly above that right wrist. Left hand to begin with, we're just bringing it up onto that left knee, that left thigh. Just hold that, feel that stretch in your front hip flexor. If you really want to, you can tuck and lift through that back leg, trying to keep that heel rolling away from you. Chest is away from belly button. And we're going to add our movement. So we're going to open out and we're going to thread across. And this can be gentle, you know, it can be just something like this, just moving halfway. Or if you're feeling great, we're starting to get that feeling of turning the centre of the chest upwards towards the ceiling and then coming right underneath and across. Okay, come back to the ground, changing sides. So the right leg's going to step through, take it a little wider, fidget first, rock, roll, wiggle the hips, whatever feels good. Okay, move a little bit further out to the left. Left hand's going to be your base, so we shift slightly forwards, left shoulder sits above left wrist. Squeeze the glutes, sink into it, high or low on that back knee. Just hold it for a breath. And if it feels okay, we're going to start to open and thread. Okay, one more of these. And then come back to centre. Right, round up, sit back into embryo pose. Hips go back, arms are going to tuck in, let the head drop, just drape the shoulders around the knees. Okay, and then come slowly back up. We're going to come down to our front, so you're going to lie completely flat, just come down onto your tummies. Arms tuck in. Square up your hips to the ground, get comfortable through the upper body, head, neck. And we'll start just with some more hip flexor work. So just kind of keep the hip bones even, keep the belly button drawing in and the pubic bone pushing down, but step your feet a little wider, just do some easy knee bends, just kicking the heels towards the bum. If you're prone to getting hamstring cramps, give the hamstrings a bit of a rub, wiggle your ankles a bit. But we'll just do this a little bit longer, so just drawing the heels in. Keep your left leg down, reach back for your right foot, see if you can bring that heel towards the glute. If you can make contact, brilliant. If you can't, don't worry. And if you can't reach the foot, again, yoga strap works really well. If you prefer, you can grab with both hands, but we're trying to get the heel to the bum. And if you can, you're then trying to peel the front of your right knee to hip off the mat. So we're keeping the hip bone level, that stays on the ground. Pubic bone stays on the ground. Belly button is still drawing in, but we're just taking that stretch a lot deeper into the front thigh. Hold it there. Okay, let that leg drop. Shake it loose. Change your size, so bringing the other leg in. Reach back for the foot. If you can't bring the heel to the bum, don't worry, you can still get the stretch. If you can lift up. And for some people, again, remember knee issues, if it's just that deep flexion of the knee joint that won't allow you to do that, but you've got the range in the hips, you could do that. You could just push the heel up, support with a strap. So there's always ways that you can vary these poses to suit. But just try and hold that breathing into it. Okay, and then let that leg drop. Give the hips a little shake. Right, just coming into gentle upper body work. And so we'll do our crocodile pose first. We're going to step the feet outside the mat, go wide, and then let them tip outwards. So our inner thighs will drop into the ground. Pull the tummy in, stack your arms one on top of the other. Rest your forehead on the back of the wrists. Roll your shoulders away from your neck. And then just kind of feel that your upper body is slightly lifting away from the ground. Your lower body is sinking into the ground. So a nice supported back bend. We'll hold this for a couple of breaths. If this feels enough, if you just want to stay here for the next minute, then that's absolutely fine. You just breathe big into the belly, get that feeling of pushing down into the pubic bone as you exhale. If it's too easy, we're going to come up through easy Cobra now. So feet come back in, parallel. Arms come in, we'll just push up off elbows. Lift the chest, lift the ribs. Shoulders are away from ears. Hold that for a moment. Again, if that feels too easy, coming in, hands alongside the ribs. Elbows tuck, push through the ground, get up into your full Cobra position. And finally, if it still feels too easy, you can either press the tops of your feet, tuck your toes. We're going to push back through the heels to lift the legs. So we're not lifting the bum, we're still trying to keep that tuck position, but we just take the weight off the legs. Anything that we've got on the ground is hands and feet, dog. Just gives you a bit of a deeper stretch, particularly in the kind of lower body, belly area. Adds a bit more weight bearing into the shoulders. Whichever level though, check that your shoulders are down, yeah? Don't let them scrunch up to the ears. Okay, come down slow. Relax your arms, shake out your hips. Right, moving slowly back up into a box position. So take your time, come up really gently, round and release. Tuck your toes, take your feet wide. We're going to walk back either into your squat. If you can't do squats, you're just going to come up through a downward dog and walk back into a forward fold. Otherwise, hands come slowly up. Push the floor away. Get your base sinking down into the tailbone, trying to get your back extended. Hands come up, chest is lifted. Hold that there, 2 or 3 good breaths. Okay, moving through a forward fold. So 2 levels, you can support your back, come halfway up. Or if it feels nice, you're just going to let your body hang, let your head drop. You can even grab your legs, start to close that gap between body and legs. But try to feel that you've still got the weight forwards on the foot slightly, so we're not just leaning on your heel bones. Soften the knees, push through the heels, squeeze your glutes. Come all the way up to standing. Right, grab another quick drink if you need one. And we're going to whiz through a little bit more mobility. I want to do some simple balance work with you. And then we'll finish up with a few more stretches on the ground. But yeah, we're going to start off just with some easy loosening drills. So we take a wider base. Okay, relax the knees. Give the hips a wiggle. Give the knees a bit of a wiggle. Still feel that you're tall. Shake your arms loose. And just start to throw your arms across the body from left to right. Okay, get that movement, start to rotate. Find a focal point now so that you don't get dizzy. Let your hips start to go with it. And then we're going to add the legs. So we just roll onto the ball of the foot, keeping the body as tall as you can. Okay, back to your wide base. Big circles now. We're pushing the hips around the big hoop. Okay, change the direction. Okay, hips come to centre, start to move the shoulders. So we're still keeping the chest above, away from the belly button. We're trying not to let the head roll with this one. And as you're leaning back, especially if you've got quite good range, just gently squeeze your bum. You should tip back into it. Okay, both ways. Okay, find that centre point again. Feet shoulder width apart now. Arms are alongside. We're kind of drawing back and down. And we're just going to laterally glide left to right. Reaching to the outside of the knee or the outside of the thigh. Okay, and then coming back to centre. Right, shake everything loose. We'll start with our easy balance. We're just going to do tandem stance first. So from our mountain pose, we just line up. As if you're on a tightrope. Get that even pressure, front to back. Lifting the head up to the ceiling. Tuck your tail, arms are alongside. If you feel safe, you can either change your gaze, maybe look up to the ceiling, or close your eyes altogether. Just breathe big. Okay, open your eyes if they're closed, changing that lead leg. So So we line up the toes, one directly in front of the other. Whoops. And then we rock until we feel that we've got as much weight in our front and back leg. Arms are alongside. If you need your arms for a bit of this, that's absolutely fine. Close your eyes if you feel safe. Okay, back to your mountain pose. Right, so we'll do our knee. We'll do it with closed eyes and then we'll add our movement into it, make it a little bit more challenging again today. So take your time, again, make sure that you feel loose. Spread the toes, get that real connection, heel to toe. Shift the weight into one leg. So we're going to go the same side. So if we all go into our left leg first, we're loading the left leg, right leg's going to come up to your knee lift. Okay, we're checking that our hips are level, so we haven't hitched up on one side. So we want that nice even line. Bucket is neutral, knee roughly hip height, lower leg is just relaxing down, tummy is in. If you feel safe, you can close your eyes. Don't be afraid of a bit of movement, especially when you know, the first moment you close your eyes, your body has a bit of a panic. So just try and relax into it, try and focus on your breathing, or wiggling your fingers. Okay, open your eyes, changing sides, so step across. Weight goes into the right leg, left leg is going to lift. Tuck your tail. Okay, back to centre. So now we're going to add a little bit of lateral pull and push force on this one. So again, we step back into that left leg and we lift the right leg. So your right arm, you can either just bring it into the small of your back, so it's kind of out the way, but our left arm, we're going to see if we can use that to just pull us off balance. So we're trying to use our left arm to kind of pull us and push us in this other direction. So if that's enough, just having the arm to the side, you can do this holding a weight would make it more challenging. That's what you need to do. If you wanted to, though, we're going to add movement. So we're going to sweep that arm all the way up and all the way down. So we're just seeing how good your balance is when we've got a little bit of movement, a little bit of external force trying to pull us off that centre line. You could even do some circular motion, forwards and back. Okay, changing sides, so step across. Can't remember which leg I lifted now. Let me turn around again. This one, wasn't it? That's right. So smaller the hand in the smaller the back rather. Get your balance first. Add that movement, or even just add in that extra bit of weight there. Okay, circles, whatever you can. You're trying to just challenge your ability to hold a balance pose while we've got, you know, forces trying to push us or pull us off that balance. Lovely. And then just give everything a shake. Right, coming into a little bit more shoulder work now. Then we're going to combine a few stretches together. So we're going to start just with fist clasp. We take a hip width base, shoulders roll back. We clasp the hands together, push down and squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Then we're going to bring both hands to our right side. Now, if you can get them alongside the waist, brilliant. If you can't, they're just going to sit in the small of your back. But just try and feel that you're still centered. If that's easy, we're pushing forwards, rolling that right shoulder back, right elbow hugs in, keeping the chest lifted. So I've got this nice straight line across my shoulders, but I'm opening to get that really nice deep stretch in my pectoral muscle on the right side. And you're going to feel it over the top of your deltoid, your upper arm on your left side. Okay, so just hold that for a couple of breaths. Get a bit near the camera on this one. Okay, changing sides, so we come to centre, move across. So we're either just resting on the lower back, squeezing in, or you can come alongside. So trying to actively push the hands forwards. Elbow tucks in, tail is tucked, crown of the head is lifting up to the ceiling. Hold it and breathe. Okay, and then relax your arms, shake them loose. Right, come into a little tricep and lateral stretch now. So right hand, take it up. Two versions, either just place it to the top of the spine. You're going to use your left arm to pull. Nice wide base, we flex across. Or if you've got the range, we're going to bring that left arm underneath. So we go for our bind. Again, you can use a yoga strap for this. Tuck your tail, lift, flexing. Should feel the stretch all the way down. Tricep, shoulder, lateral line. Just try and feel that you've got even pressure in the feet, that the pelvis is neutral and the chest is lifted. I'm checking that you're not kind of straining the neck, we're not squeezing or pressing on the neck. Okay, change in size, so we're going to lift up. Either just use the right hand to draw down, flex into your right side, or you're going to bring the right hand underneath. Hold it and breathe. Oh, crikey, Mikey, my left tricep is very, very tight today. I hadn't even noticed till I do the stretch. That's the thing, isn't it? We don't notice bits that are getting tight until we start going through our yoga poses and realise normally you can do this, and today it feels a bit sore. Okay, and then release. Roll both shoulders back. Right, we're going to finish off on the ground because I'm very aware that I'll get you here for at least an hour now. So come down slowly, hug your knees in. Would be interesting to just see how long I could go for one day. Maybe just do an open-ended session. I think you'd probably be here for at least 3 hours. Give your knees a good hug. Hold the backs of the thighs, extend both legs up to the ceiling. And start to pull your feet towards you. So we're getting that really nice stretch. Calves. If you've got the range, you can reach up, grab your toes. You're starting to pull the legs towards the body, so we're getting that stretch all the way down this back line now. Okay, and then drop your feet. Right leg is going to cross over left leg. Both legs are going to fall to your left side, and then just open out your arms. Readjust your upper body so your shoulders are level. Actively stretching that right arm a bit further back and away from you. So we're trying to get into your pecs, your chest again on the right side. But just get comfortable. So we're using the right leg as a bit of extra weight, so it just gives us a slightly deeper stretch around your right side. Okay, bring the head to centre, relax your shoulders, legs are going to come back up, change the cross, left over right. Both legs are going to fall over to your right side. Readjust your upper body, trying to get level. Let that left arm drop back, stretching all the way down this left side. Hold it and breathe. Okay, relax your arms, legs come back up. Drop your legs, give them a bit of a bounce. And then bring the feet together, let your knees fall out to Cobbler's pose. Okay, arms are going to reach back. So we're stretching this whole front line now. You want to create a bit of a space between the whole back body and the ground if possible. Really nice stretch. Pushing up and back through the shoulders. Outer thighs as if they're being pulled towards the floor, so we're getting that stretch through the inner thigh, the groin area. Tipping your bucket away from you, if anything, so we're getting a bit of a stretch down the lower belly as well. And then we're just going to finish with a total stretch. So push your feet out the bottom corners of your mat, toes pointing up. Push your arms out the top corners. One corner at a time to begin with. Do left arm, left leg, right leg. So just work out, push out through each corner. And then finish 2 big breaths, exhaling out through all 4 corners together. Do that once more. Relax your arms. Walk your feet in. Hug your knees. And just roll into your lower back. So I'm going to finish the class. I'm not going to do relaxation on the end. If you want to do relaxation, just stop the video now and just stay where you are and get into your corpse pose. But otherwise, just do a few little circles, massage your back. Tip over onto your right side when you're ready. Take your time, come up gently. Okay, just finishing with a couple of good breaths. So inhale, sweep up. And release. And again, big inhale. And release. Brilliant, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks, guys, for those of you that are joining me. Hopefully I'll see you back in class next week or the week after. And have a fantastic New Year's Eve, whatever you get up to. Thanks, guys. Namaste. Take care.